And we're back with another podcast. It's Super Nintendo. I have to say it out like that so we don't get sued. Welcome to the podcast now. This is Doc here, and we've just welcomed our brand new co-host to the show. It's Luke Towers.
Hello.
Luke, you have such a superhero name. Like, you've got the name like people change their name to when they go to Hollywood. Like, they're like normally Luke Skavinsky, and they get to Hollywood and they go, yeah, I think I'm going to be Luke Towers from now on.
Yeah, I guess, look, I'm just really good at window cleaning, maybe, or something. It's my superhero ability.
The tower of power that is Luke. So we're going to do this in a new format today. We've got these great segments coming up that everyone can listen to. We'll be doing news of the week coming up in a little while. We're also going to be talking about what we're playing, what we're excited about playing, and we're going to discuss a classic video game of the week.
Sounds good.
All coming up in Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
All right, news of the week, and this is exciting. So I've been scouring the internet to find the cool stuff that's happening in video games at the moment. And first up, have you seen the short film version of Uncharted starring Nathan Fillion?
I have. I actually watched it, I think, last night. Yeah. Laying on the couch last night, and I put it on. Loved it.
How cool.
It's so good.
Like, and it just sort of came from nowhere. Like, for years, everyone's been, like, playing Uncharted with Nathan Drake, the character, and going, God, he looks like Nathan Fillion. Wouldn't it be good if they did a movie and Nathan Fillion was the star?
I just love that, like, someone went to him and was like, hey, you want to do this, non-official Uncharted thing? And he was like, yeah, definitely.
You probably won't get paid.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no worries, let's do it. They cancelled Firefly, what more could they do?
I thought the only thing I didn't like about it was when, at the end, when they were like, all right, cool, so now we know where we've got to go. Boom, it ends. No!
I want more. Because at the moment they're actually making an Uncharted movie in Hollywood.
I've heard about it, yeah.
And it's kind of like they're doing, like they've done with Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. It's sort of the origin story of Nathan Drake, which they kind of did in the last Uncharted game.
Yeah.
But the
in
star...
3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the star they've got attached to it is Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so... You kind of go, yeah, I really like Tom Holland, but...
I see Tom Holland as like a 15-year-old Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Not a grizzled treasure hunter.
Not young Nathan Drake. It's kind of like when you're watching the Flintstones, I guess, and you go, yeah, you know what? Wilma's hot, but I'd go with Betty. It's like, yeah, Tom Holland's cool, but I'd go with Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion's just got that charisma, which I think Drake has, Like, you play those games, and Nolan North does such a good job with the voice and everything, and he's just got that charisma to him. And when someone said, oh, you got to watch this fanfic with Nathan Drake with
Nathan Fillion.
I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like... He's a perfect fit for that character.
It's like they just went, oh yeah, you are it. You are Nathan Drake personified.
Yeah.
It's so good. I just want to see the whole thing.
I know.
You know what? As I was watching it, I was like, this would be a great movie. And then halfway through, I changed my mind, and I was like, this would actually be a great TV show. Like, if Netflix were to go, let's make this show Iron Fist. Luke Cage-esque, that sort of style, that Marvel cinematic, like... And
they'd have to put a bit of money into it, obviously, because there'd be, like, exotic locations and...
Yeah, or just really good green screen.
Yeah, true.
Pretty much what they did there. It was really well done, and it was made for next to no budget. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check it out. We'll put a link up on the website.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
That takes us to the next bit of news, which is also TV related to video games, is that they've just announced that there's a Halo show coming.
I haven't heard this.
Yeah, so they're building a Halo show. It's going to be made by Showtime.
Right.
So it's proper, like, because they've had Halo shows before, live action Halo, but they're all a bit rubbish.
Yeah, like I remember...
Forward Until Dawn.
I was going to say, I remember that one. And I watched that, and I was like,
Yeah.
So is it Master Chief?
Yeah, I believe it's Master Chief, which is, that's cool, but if he takes his helmet off, it's going to be Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd all over again. It's like, we don't want that. Leave the helmet on. But it's going to be cool. Like, it's actually a Halo show with a budget.
Okay.
My only concern is that Halo's just not cool anymore.
Oh, look, I've got a soft spot for Halo. Yeah. I love it. I am not a Xbox owner currently.
Yeah.
So I haven't played the last 2, I think.
All right.
I played up until, I think, 4 or so. But
you're a PC gamer, right?
Yeah.
So they're available on PC as well?
No.
Oh, they're not?
No.
The first one was?
The first one was.
Yeah.
And they haven't done one since.
Oh, right.
So Microsoft has apparently said now with this whole Xbox Games Pass.
Sure,
thing,
yep.
With that, going forward, anything they release on Xbox will also come to PC, I believe.
Oh, right. That makes sense. And that's sort of what they were trialling with crossover with Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves,
like that,
yeah.
Which wasn't perfect, but was still kind of cool.
No. And, I played it, I think, like you did, for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And
it was really good for that couple of weeks, and I was like, oh, this is so much fun. Where's the rest of the game?
Yeah, exactly. Which is apparently coming. They've announced this week that there's a lot of extra content coming to Sea of Thieves. They said for the millions of people playing. No, probably for the millions of people who have it installed still.
Yeah.
Because they haven't run out of space enough to delete it yet.
I just wish they'd told everyone that it was early access.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. And then you get the opposite thing with things like PlayerUnknown Battleground, where it's like, this is early access for 10 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at some point, are you ever going to make that an alpha?
And 50 million people playing it.
Yeah, crazy. So good.
But that Games Pass was good because I did the 2-week free trial they did with that, and then paid for a month for $10 or $12 or whatever it was. So I got a month and a half for $10, and
it's so good.
Canned it, and I'll get it back again when Halo comes out.
Yeah, when there's other stuff that comes out that you want, you just go and get it again. I think it's a great model. It's the Netflix model for video game owners.
It's perfect. And the thing is, because I have a PlayStation as well, if Sony did something like that and just said, hey, look, all our games, Uncharted, Last of Us, all those kind of things, they're going to be up on there every month. Oh, man, I'd say that.
It's actually interesting because the next news topic is the Google gaming machine that is rumoured. Oh. So Google are getting into the gaming industry, obviously. At the moment, I think they're dabbling in it with mobile gaming and stuff like that. This is interesting, though, because they're rumoured to be doing this game machine that is on the stream model.
Right.
So it's a basic machine, but it's getting all its graphic processor power and everything from online.
Yep.
And is that a model you think would work?
Look, I don't think in Australia.
Yeah, no.
I think overseas, definitely. Like there's... I think Logitech do a little box, but it's $50 a month, and you get 1080p gaming streamed in. You got to have at least 15 megabit internet.
Yeah.
But it's not available in Australia yet. But
because our internet's rubbish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think
we're looking at
work.
You, NBN.
I think it'll work. I think that's the way it'll go eventually.
Yeah.
Once we,
It makes sense. There's still something like, even though I buy a lot of games online now, there's still something about having a tangible copy of it. I think I got Far Cry 5 as a tangible copy, and I was really happy to hold it in my hand and then install it in the machine.
I hate getting tangible
copies
really? Now.
Yeah. Okay.
I think because I've been PC for so long, and I probably haven't had a digital, a hard copy of a PC game for 8 years.
Yeah, right.
Because they're just all on Steam.
Yeah, it's Steam. And so much cheaper on Steam. I think that the difference because I'm a console gamer, and if you buy it online, you still pay the same price, sometimes more than buying it in a store, which makes no sense because there's ridiculous. No overheads. Yeah. Like you're just downloading the software. Yeah. Why isn't it $30 cheaper at least?
Exactly. And that's all that in the next, I think, 5 years.
Yeah.
Is there's going to be some hard thinking, I think, that especially Sony and Microsoft are going to have to do, and Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have to decide, hang on, all right, we've got to start discounting these games digitally.
Yeah.
Because it's all going to go that way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're going to have to hurt their relationship with EB. And
I think that's the only reason they don't do it now.
100%.
Yeah, because otherwise, there's nowhere to sell their consoles.
Yeah, the ones that sell the hardware. Yeah. Exactly right.
So, but with the boom in buying things online, we could be saying it could be a Blockbuster situation.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm sure Blockbuster 20 years ago were like, someone probably said to them, hey, there might be a little bit of an issue here with this internet thing. Yeah. Oh, no, it'll be fine. People love having a DVD in their hand.
Even back in the day, like when Netflix first launched as a video on demand out the front of supermarkets and things like that, where you'd mail the disc back. Yeah. They'll probably look at that going, no one's going to do that. They can't even get their videos back on time.
Yeah.
Last bit of news, Call of Duty Black Ops. Black Ops 4 coming out. Zombies. There's a lot of talk about zombies, and it's going to be very zombie focused with 3 new zombie packs from launch, which is weird. It's not download content later.
Right.
But the most interesting thing about Call of Duty is that they're moving to a Battle Royale format.
Yeah, well, that's what I was hoping you were going to talk about. I haven't been interested in COD in a while.
Yeah.
But I normally play the campaign and then put it away because I do play a bit of multiplayer now, but I'm not a big COD multiplayer guy.
Yeah.
But they said the Battle Royale thing. I was like, oh, well, they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, because Battlefield announced they've got a Battle Royale mode as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the in thing at the moment.
100%.
Everyone's doing it, and especially with the massive success that we've seen, not only in PlayerUnknown Battle in PUBG, but also Fortnite has just surpassed that.
Oh,
like it's like
ridiculous.
It's PUBG with Minecraft elements, and it's
and kids
love it.
Yeah, I think exactly right. I think the smart thing they did was they made the graphics a little bit more cartoony.
Yeah.
And it's still got depth. It's actually, I think, got a bit more depth with the building aspect because PUBG is obviously just straight shooter.
Yeah.
But
PUBG feels like what Call of Duty will be. With its format.
Well, I'm interested to see what they do because they've said that it's going to be like obviously smaller maps because PUBG maps are massive. But PUBG at the moment, like I was actually playing it just before I came here. What they're doing at the moment with their little weekend events and things, so they'll just say, okay, rather than this is the normal mode, they'll do this crazy mode for the weekend.
Yeah.
They'll be like, everyone gets this crazy gun. There's teams of 8, and you all drop into this little area, and the weather's changing every 5 minutes, and just all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And they rotate every weekend, and just to try and I think they're just testing the waters to see what works.
So you're playing that on PC?
PC,
because I don't know if they do any of that on Xbox.
Don't they?
No, they've only just released the desert map, the second map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a little bit delayed on Xbox. But I think, look, Call of Duty is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
They've got so much money.
Like
that if they're going to do it, I'm sure they'll do it well.
I remember a couple of years ago I saw it front page of a newspaper that made billions of dollars on the launch of, I think it was Black Ops 3 at that stage.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? Video games are doing that? That's movie money. That's that's Avengers money.
Well, like they did a thing. I think it was like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. They announced that GTA 5 is the highest grossing media thing ever.
Yeah.
Of any album, any movie, anything in history.
How
GTA
crazy.
5 has made more
5.
money. I think it was like, and I'm just pulling a number out of my head, but I think it was like 90 billion or some obscene amount of money. Or maybe it was 90 million copies or something.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Huge.
Yeah, that's usually how they do it. They go, with this many copies. They're a hybrid because they base their sales figures on the old music industry figure.
Okay.
I think.
Like platinum.
Yeah. So, it's like, we've sold this many copies as opposed to made this much money.
Yeah.
Because it changes in price wherever it is.
Of course.
Yeah.
But even like that, but the thing with GTA 5 is that even when it goes on special, like, I've never seen it on special for maybe 50% off.
No, if you were to trade it in, it's probably still taken AAA title money to trade it in.
Huge money. And it's always, ever since it came out, it's always in the top 10 or top 20 bestsellers list. Yeah. Every month.
It's funny though, because I was watching someone play it on Twitch the other day, and I was just like, God, it feels old now. Like it dated very quickly, I think.
Yeah, and like, see, I've got a group of guys that I play games with online, and every now and again because I played it on PlayStation, did the story, put it away, but they still get back into the online. They love it.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get back on, do new heists. They got the DeLorean recently, and they're like, we've all got DeLoreans now.
There was a Twitch I was watching the other day. It was an in real life Twitch on GTA. So the guy was just walking around having two-way conversations with other characters, like doing the voices for both characters.
Right, yeah.
I must have watched it for about an hour, and I looked at myself hard in the mirror afterwards and went,
about you here,
what is wrong with you? All right, that's the news of the week. Now, on to the next segment. This is What Are You Playing? Cool. What are you playing at the moment, Luke?
What am I playing? Well, obviously, like I said, a bit of PUBG.
Yep.
One of the games that one of the guys put me onto recently, which has been a little bit of fun, was called Raft.
Okay.
Heard about that?
No.
So it's on PC at the moment, early access. It was a game released as kind of like a game jam kind of thing. So these students made it and thought, we'll quickly slap this game together in a couple of days. And essentially you're out on the open water. You're on a little wooden raft, like Robinson Crusoe, I guess, or something like that. And the whole game is you've got a hook and a piece of rope, and you have to hook things in and make your raft better.
Right, okay.
So as you're drifting on the water, you go, I want that barrel.
So like a survival game.
Survival game, but on a little raft.
On a little raft, yeah.
2x2, and you slowly build it out and make this kind of Waterworld-esque.
Right.
You know, like, remember that Kevin Costner?
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
They had those kind of things that they built on the water, and it was everyone lived on floating kind of things. Because
that movie opens with him drinking his own wee.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It does, yeah.
That set the tone straight away.
Bit of a box office flop, I think,
yeah.
on Waterworld
Such
too,
a great, underrated movie.
Oh,
so
me and my brother loved it.
Yeah.
We still talk about that movie. Loved it. So you just build it up, and you'll get attacked by sharks, so they'll attack your raft, and you hook things in, and then you plant plants, and you have to gather water, and then you're making plants and cooking food, and essentially it's like your survival game.
Yeah.
But on water.
Yeah.
And then you've got 8 people as well.
And what are the risks? Along is there waterfalls and stuff like that?
No, because you're out in the ocean.
Oh, okay.
So it's just the middle of the ocean. And so essentially it's kind of like Waterworld in that it's obviously something's happened because it's kind of post-apocalyptic because there's no one, there's little bits of land that you'll find later on.
Yeah.
But you build up your base, you get attacked by sharks. Obviously, it's early access at the moment, so there's not much to it. But eventually you get to, there's these directions, and it leads to an oil refinery, and you find this oil refinery, and there's kind of this bigger mystery in the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So when you're on the oil refinery, why would you get back on your raft?
I haven't even got to the oil refinery yet. Yeah, I'm still on the little raft, trying 2x4, nailing it all together. So
I can imagine, I can just picture someone playing this in 4 years' time, and they've got this Titanic-sized raft. It's the biggest raft in
Raft
history.
City.
It's Raft City. I like it.
I just thought it was really cool that these, apparently they're not very old. They made this game, and then it's made a heap of money. It was on Steam's top sellers for a few weeks, so that means a lot of people are buying it. But yeah, just from a little game jam from a couple of days' work, and then it's grown into this whole other thing.
Worth checking out.
Check it out.
It's called Raft.
Yeah.
Raft. We'll put a link up too.
Yeah, cool.
So I've been playing Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus.
Ooh, nice. No spoilers?
No spoilers. But I tell you, it's so cool because it's an old game now. It's a year old. And I never played it
Wolfenstein 2?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it came out this time last year.
Time flies.
I know. But the cool thing about this is it only just got released for the Nintendo Switch.
Cool, yeah.
So I got it on Switch because I was I'd never got to play that. I played the first one, which I loved. I might grab this on Switch because I need something to play on the go. It's amazing. It is next level amazing. This is a AAA title on any other console, right? On Switch, it's very much the same.
Really?
If you're playing it handheld, you notice the graphics are just a little bit blurred. They've obviously had to shrink it somehow to fit it on, which is what they also did with things like Skyrim and Doom to fit them on Nintendo's tablet.
I love that those games are coming on there now because I don't have a Switch myself, but having those kind of AAA quality games portably is amazing.
It's like, and you know what? They tried that with the PlayStation Vita, but they'd have a really cut down, specifically made for the Vita version of the game that ended up being just rubbish.
Yeah, and I love the Vita. I really wanted it to go well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I had it, and I was like, and I bought a few games, and then it was just tumbleweed. Would roll past, and just no games would come out for like 6 months.
Well, that's Nintendo have just announced recently that they're doing exactly the opposite, and they're going to be putting out like 50 games a month.
Wow.
In what they call Nindies.
Okay.
Which are the indie games made for Nintendo Switch.
Cool.
There's so many indie titles on there. They're now the king of indie titles. Like, there is so much great stuff.
Well, that's the way to do it, because that's like towards the end of Vita's lifetime. That was where a lot of people went to for their little indie stuff. Yeah.
And it'd be easy to make, I think, for them. Oh, well, not easy, but in game terms, it'd be quite similar to make. But great game. The first level, I've got to tell you about the first level. I won't give you spoilers of the game, but the first level, you are basically BJ Blasthouse or whatever. Yeah, Blazkowicz.
Yeah. I love how, like, he's this American in fighting Nazis, but he has this very German name.
So you're him, but you are so wrecked up from the first game that you are in a wheelchair in a submarine.
Oh yeah.
Going through the submarine with a gun, shooting Nazis.
So good. So good.
And the mechanics of the wheelchair, you're like, I wish this whole game was a wheelchair.
It was wheelchair based.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, it's really cool. So that's I've been playing that at the moment. Just quickly, I want to mention I've just started, so I can't comment too much on how great it is. But I've got Xbox Game Pass, like you were talking about before.
Yeah.
And I just got the Warhammer game, Vermintide. What is it?
1 or 2?
Vermintide 2.
Yeah, cool.
Which is, from playing one game of it yesterday, very impressive.
Yeah.
It's like,
Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, it's like Left 4 Dead.
Because I haven't played 2, but I played 1.
It's like if Left 4 Dead and Heretic had a baby. Do you remember that old PC game where you're the wizard and you're like,
Yep.
That was basically Quake for D&D nerds.
Yeah. So I think they just did it on the Quake engine.
Yeah. But it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get it. It's something that me and my mate, because it was on special, the first one was, I think, last year or something.
Yeah.
And I said to my mate, look, we need to get this. It's kind of Left 4 Dead-ish, co-op, wave-based kind of co-op game. And he said, oh, yeah, cool, we'll give it a go. And I've only played a few games of it, but so much fun. Awesome. Just, I love co-op games. Like, it's my favourite.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Left 4 Dead is so... I did hear rumours there's a new one of them coming, but
Fingers crossed.
There was something at E3 said about it.
Really?
We were talking about it before. There wasn't much said at E3, was it?
No, it was one of those ones I went into it and I get really excited and I get up early for the press conferences and I thought there was going to be all these big announcements, but it seemed to be just things we pretty much knew.
But you know why? Coming. I say, so about a week before E3, there was that leak on the Canadian, Walmart website.
Right. Yep.
So they basically put up the game titles of everything that was coming at E3. So that's where we found out that there was Fallout, a new Fallout game coming.
Yep.
And that's where we found out that, what was the other game that they did? The one that's Doom-esque. Futuristic Mad Max style... post-apocalyptic Rage.
Yep.
The new Rage
2,
is coming, which that looks so good. I love the first Rage. So all those games got announced on the Walmart. So we found out about them a week before the announcements happened. So then when the announcements came, we were all like desensitized. We're like, oh yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
Sure, show us a little bit if you want, but we already knew it.
But the thing was, because I think I know the list you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we'll quickly diverge because I know you're into it. On that list, I think there was the Rocksteady Superman game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know you're a big Superman fan.
Yeah,
You must be pretty pumped for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, what those guys did with Batman, those Batman Arkham games are masterpieces. Even the last one, which, was okay.
Yeah, because I haven't played Night. I played... Asylum and City, and those two games.
Well, Night is still great. Like, it's very different. It's more open world. But not. It is, but it isn't. So if they can do that with Superman, Oh, man, we haven't had a good Superman game.
Ever.
Yeah, we had...
Yeah,
well,
don't say Superman 64.
Superman 64 was kind of cool.
Only a diehard Superman fan would say that.
Yeah, so that was that was cool for its time.
But an open world Superman game,
but an
set in
actual
Metropolis,
Superman game,
where you can fly around.
Yeah, and I don't include
wow.
Injustice, because Injustice is a Superman game, but it's a Justice League game. It's all of them.
I wouldn't count that.
Like,
as
it is
game.
that is an amazing game, probably the best fighting game out.
But it's a good fighter.
Yeah.
But having a
full game where you are Superman, you take off, you land, you shoot people.
So what do
with
you
your
think?
I-beams.
Do you think and it's pretty much, obviously that's only rumours at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's kind of,
it's
they've
kind
strong rumours.
They've kind of not confirmed it.
Yeah.
But they
I remember
denied
at E3
it.
they said, we've got something to announce, it's coming soon.
Yeah.
We're not ready to announce it yet.
Yeah.
Which was pretty much, we're making a Superman game.
It's been rumoured that they're making a Robin game, which they probably could be, because there's a few different arms of that company.
Okay.
But everyone's got their fingers crossed for a Superman game.
Imagine if you fly around Metropolis, you hear someone, you go do your good deed.
Brainiac comes in. You've got to fight like
Superhero
Metallo
fight in the middle of the city with Zod.
Oh, that was one of the best bits of the 64 one, was when Metallo came into it. It was so good.
Yeah, I actually didn't play it, but
really?
I heard that you flew through a lot of rings.
Yeah, you do, yeah. That was the worst thing. It was like, have they just rebadged one of those crap flight simulator games?
Yeah, I did enough of that in Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah. Spyro, what a classic.
That's coming soon.
Remastered, yeah.
And I walked past that the other day, and I said, Spyro the Dragon. I think I'll have to get that.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend goes, what? That looks like a 10-year-old's game. I was like, yeah, because I was like 10 when that came out.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And it would just be a full nostalgia buy.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely
It's like when they remastered Crash Bandicoot. Awesome. You were like, all these adults are like, we've got to get Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
It's the best game ever played.
Yeah.
Which, I actually hate Crash Bandicoot.
Really?
I hate it with a passion.
Wow.
And not because it's a bad game. It's a fantastic game. It's a really, really good game. But when it came out, I was working in a game store called Games R Us.
Right.
And Crash Bandicoot was massive.
Yep.
So it was always on the screen. And the music, every time I hear the music now, I'm just like, I hate this game so much. Like, yeah. All right, so what are we most looking forward to?
Oh, that's a big call. I think probably number one for me is Red Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
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 So,
and it's gone quiet because it was meant to
has.
come out in October, like last year.
Yeah.
And then they we better push it forward. And the rumour that they were going to hold it back, the rumour they were going to hold it back was because they were going to add a Battle Royale mode to it.
No way.
Seriously, that was the rumour going around. It was like,
oh, wow.
I wonder if they're going to do that. Like,
I hope not. Just like on that quickly, like, I think all these companies, obviously they're all trying to jump on the bandwagon, but surely there's a point where if you release a Battle Royale mode 2 years after Battle Royale was cool, what's the point?
That's a real
everyone's
fear.
Done it.
That's a real fear. Because it does take so long to develop a video game. If you're working on a Battle Royale game now, good luck.
Yeah.
Because in 5 years when it comes out, it may not be cool anymore.
And, like, how are you going to get someone who's... Like, I've got a friend at work, both his sons play Fortnite.
Yeah.
They put so much money into that game. A free game.
Free game, and they're pumping money into it. I don't get it.
Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, if they bought the game, it would have been a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
And these kids keep putting money into it. And
it's that whole
how are you
mobile
going to get
game.
someone to leave that?
Yeah.
When they've dropped $200 or $300 into a game on skins. That's all you've got, skins. But then to take them over to a new Battle Royale game, you're going to have to do something pretty special.
Yeah. In fact, they probably would be better off making their own game and then doing a deal with Fortnite on the release date of their game to put out a Red Dead weekend on Fortnite.
Like, I think the Fortnite's been so clever with their marketing. Like the thing they did with Thanos.
Oh, it was amazing. That was brilliant. And that that all came about because the Russo brothers are Fortnite fans. And they went to Fortnite and went, hey, how about this?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought that must have been the opposite way.
No,
that it was Fortnite going to Marvel.
Yeah, no.
That's funny, isn't it?
How funny.
And especially now with all these celebrities that play it.
Yeah.
like I read something the other day that
Like Drake's playing it.
yeah,
Like,
and the amount of money they make, it's like obscene.
Yeah.
I think I saw something and it was a while ago, and it was like something like $5 million a day or something, and that might have just been the mobile or just the console,
Yeah.
you know, not
yeah.
the both.
Well, you know,
Like,
there's a Switch version of it now too.
yeah,
Which is actually probably the best version. Like
Really?
it really fits the handheld controller mode.
I just got a new iPad and I've been playing it on that.
Oh, really?
It's really good. It blows my mind
Yeah.
how they can scale that game from a PS4
Yeah.
down to an iPad or a phone,
It's like at its
and
core.
it's the same game.
At its core, it's a pretty basic game. Like it's
unbelievable.
one map. It's basic controls. It's
It just shows how
just
well that
looks
engine
really good.
scales, but do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
yeah.
like that is unheard of, that you could have the same game on PlayStation and your phone
Yeah,
even
yeah.
5 years ago.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
But yeah, it's an absolute.
So Red Dead
behemoth.
2.
Yeah. What about you?
Probably the expansion pack for Destiny 2.
Oh,
I
Forsaken.
am. Yeah, I quite often say that, you know, when I'm online with my mates, quite often saying we are the last two people in Australia playing Destiny 2.
You definitely aren't, because I have
Yeah.
4 guys at work.
Really? And they're
who-
all still playing.
All still playing.
That's so good.
Committed.
Because, so you may not agree with me on this. And, you know, it would be good if, I don't know. So Destiny 2 cops a lot of crap online. There are so many videos saying why Destiny 2 is broken. It's broken because of this. It's broken. It's all wrong. All those people don't know what they're talking about. Destiny 2 is actually a brilliant game. It is a beautiful game.
Oh,
like
it's amazing.
stunning. The game mechanics itself are actually really, really good. It's just cool to bag Destiny 2. And a lot of those guys get more views on their YouTube channels if they're bagging out the thing that's cool to bag out.
Yeah.
It's a bit like bagging out the Justice League movie.
Look, you know how I feel
Yeah.
about that movie.
But, you know, every time DC announce a new movie,
Yeah.
people get online and they bag it out. Why? Because their views go through the roof.
Yeah.
Because, you know, because it's cool to bag out DC and it's cool to like Marvel. It is
Look,
cool
I
to bag
disagree
out
in
Destiny
some-
2.
I love Destiny 2. I thought it was
Yeah.
a great game. The thing with Destiny 2 is, and I didn't get any of the expansion, so I'm just talking
Yeah.
the vanilla base game. I got to the end of it, maybe 20 hours. Okay, I've seen I think most of the game.
Yeah.
There wasn't much to do once you'd hit that level cap.
When-
Apart from the raid, you know, and you
Yeah.
can do the raid over and over again.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do the same thing over and over again, it's not.
They
it's
do,
not for you.
like every week they switch it up. Like you were talking about earlier with PUBG, they
Uh-huh.
switch it up with like this week it's faction rallies.
Right.
Next week it might be Iron Banner. Like,
Uh-huh.
and I think in the last expansion they did do a better job of switching them up more often
Yeah.
and changing them around a bit to make them more fun. But seriously, I haven't stopped playing it since it came out. I agree with you on one thing though. We did hit the level cap too quickly, and in this last expansion, I'm still going on the level cap.
Wow.
Like it is taking a lot longer to get my light level up.
The thing that I like about Bungie is
Yeah.
they listen to the fans
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So as much as there is these people that put these videos up and say, what's wrong with Destiny 2 and da-da-da-da-da,
Yeah.
I think Bungie is really good at taking on feedback and going, okay, we did that wrong. Like in the first game, right?
Yeah.
When they released Taken King and they were like, we mucked up a few things. Here you go.
Yeah.
We've fixed all that. We've added all this extra stuff. There's heaps more content. Go for it. I got into it then. I didn't actually get it to start
you didn't
with.
get it on launch,
and I
yeah.
got it when Taken King came out. And everyone was
Taken
saying,
King.
oh my God, this is so much better.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was fantastic. But I think the sad thing is that it seems like it's kind of happened with Destiny 2 as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
now they're going with Forsaken. Hey, we've fixed this, we've fixed that. We've changed the guns, we've done all this stuff to make it a little bit more like one.
Yeah.
And they've kind of done the same thing again and gone, all right, for the third expansion, we
fixed it on
Fixed
the
the
third. Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I love it the whole time. I've loved it the whole
Yeah.
time, and I will. I can never see myself not playing that game at least once a week.
and that says something if you're
It's
going back every week.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that it's, and I was comparing it with, because at the time when I got into it, my other mates that play online were playing a lot of PUBG.
Yeah, right.
And so I was going back to Destiny and playing a bit more Destiny. And the thing about Destiny is, compared to these other games like PUBG, you just feel the AAA-ness.
Yeah.
I know that's not a word, but
yeah.
you know, when you go and play...
We've just made it a word.
Yeah,
it's a word now.
When you play Destiny 2, you're like, it's polished, everything works how it's meant to work, and it does what it does really well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a really well-made game. You can see every dollar that's been spent on that.
So yesterday I was on Io, which is a moon of Jupiter, and I look up in the sky and I noticed something I've never ever noticed before, and it's just how big and immense and beautiful Jupiter is hovering around the moon.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I just thought that was colours in the sky, and I've sort of stepped back a bit to take in the whole picture and seen it and gone, this is a stunning game. Like, that is amazing detail.
Oh, it's unreal. Like, I, when it came out, I was on a different graphics card, and then I went to a new graphics card and then boot it back up, and I was like, what?
Yeah, wow.
This game is just, I got the, so good.
Same when I moved from Xbox to Xbox One X and saw it in 4K, and you're just like, whoa. Yeah. I never need another piece of entertainment in my life ever again, because
and it's something that, you know, if you played the normal version, you wouldn't miss it. You're not like, this game doesn't look nice. No. But then when you go to that next level up, you're like, whew,
and then if you're
what was I doing?
If you're doing that on your mate's machine and then you have to go back to yours, you're like,
no, it's not good.
Yeah, so something with my TV.
Yeah, but I think that when Forsaken comes out, I think I will get back in. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm agree with you there.
Yeah, cool. So, on to our next topic of discussion, which is our classic video game of the week. This week, we're going to take a quick little chat about the classic arcade game Double Dragon.
Oh, nice.
Now, this is a game I used to play at the local fish and chip shop, and in fact, at the local video shop as well, Wimpy's Video Hire in Mount Gambier. And we would go there.
Who named it that?
I know, yeah. The guy named Wimpy, I guess.
Yeah, Dave Wimpy.
Yeah. Hi to Dave Wimpy. I'd go there, I'd put my 20 cents in, 40 cents, however much it cost at that time, and I would be going back and playing it over and over again. Because at the time, we'd never seen this type of fighting game. The two guys, the two brothers, the blue and the red brother, I think it's Billy and what's the other guy's name?
It's a deep cut. I don't know. There's no way I could remember those names.
So, but they're incredible. It was an incredible fighting game and one that we'd never seen the likes of before. Yeah.
Those are probably my favourite arcade games, is those side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Yeah. They're just so much fun. Even whenever I go to the arcade in Brisbane or whatever, if it's me and a friend, jump on one of those, roll along, beat dudes up. Even the other ones, like the Ninja Turtles ones and stuff.
Oh, like the Ninja, yeah.
They were so good. I loved all that stuff.
So it was Billy and Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
They didn't get their names until later, though.
Oh,
That was like Double Dragon 3 that we found out who they were.
Yeah, not big on the story.
No.
In those arcade games.
Here's the interesting thing about the first game, though, right? So you know how it's Billy's girlfriend that gets kidnapped? Okay. So when you play it, at the start, the very opening scene is Billy's girlfriend getting punched in the stomach, which is horrible. Like, you're going, whoa, what the hell? Yeah. And then she gets thrown over the bad guy's shoulder, and then they walk off. And then the garage door opens, and that's where your characters come out. Billy and Jimmy. Billy's blue, Jimmy's red. Right. Then you fight your way through the game, okay? And then, for some bizarre reason, at the end, when you save her, you defeat the final bad guy, you then have to fight each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there can only be one winner of Double Dragon. And the reason is Jimmy turns on his brother and they fight for the love of the girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously, I thought they were two nice dudes.
Yeah. Whatever happened to bros before chicks? Yeah. Like, that's like, what?
Yeah. But I just love they've been through this, like, terrible ordeal, fought all these goons over hours or days. Yeah, and then at the end,
she's still tied up.
Like Stacy or whatever it is, and then beat each other up over it.
It's Marion, is her
Marion, that's Marion.
What you said that. What a bizarre thing. So they changed the ending of the game when they released it on the on the NES.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And they went, okay, we can have two winners. Like, because was a doggy. That makes no sense.
Maybe they have a polyamorous relationship at the end.
Oh, you know how they changed it? That's right, I remember now. They changed it by making the mirror versions of Billy and Jimmy appear. And you had to fight yourselves as your evil mirror twin from the evil Star Trek universe.
Which makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than them fighting over the love of a woman.
I know. What a bizarre game. Double Dragon. It's a classic game. If you ever get the chance to watch the movie, don't. That is a classic, terrible movie. But it just shows you how big a franchise that was. That it actually had a movie with Terminator starring in it. Terminator 2. What's his name? Is it Robert Patrick?
Robert Patrick, yeah.
The guy who played...
Who was in the X-Files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he played T2. He was the bad guy.
Liquid Metal Man.
In Double Dragon.
Really?
Yeah.
So, just quick tangent.
Yeah.
Of video game movies.
Okay, yeah.
What's your favourite?
Ooh.
Obviously not Double Dragon.
No, not Double Dragon. And not Mario.
Yeah, that was
right. Terrible as well. I would say that the best representation of a video game in a movie, probably, and I haven't seen Tomb Raider yet, the new one.
Well, that's what I was going to... That was going to be my answer, because I just watched it recently. I was really impressed at how... And obviously, it's sad that we have to say this. Not bad it was, because video game movies...
They're usually terrible.
Generally not the best.
Assassin's Creed was terrible.
I haven't watched that yet.
Okay, that was not a good film. But mind you, I'm not a big fan of those games either. They're a bit samey.
Yeah.
I think the best video game movie, and I'm going to throw this out there, and you may not agree with this one, Mortal Kombat.
I have a soft spot for that movie.
Yeah.
With the second one, not so much.
Yeah.
But
the first one with Christopher Lambert as Raiden, which is so bizarre. It's like you talk about whitewashing in movies these days, and you cast a Frenchman as Raiden.
Look, that movie, I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that the CGI is not held up like most 90s movies.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That was great.
But when Johnny Cage does the splits and punches Goro in the nuts, I was like, that is awesome. Like, and Sonya Blade in it is that, what's her name? Bridget. Yeah, she's so hot.
Did you watch those? Yeah. I don't know who made them. I think they were like... It was like fan film kind of things on YouTube a few years ago, the Mortal Kombat ones.
Yeah.
So good.
Fan films are better than normal films half the time.
So good.
Like,
I think it was like they called them like the bootleg version or something like that, and it was just super dark, grisly Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Make a TV show of that.
Make that. It's like when they did the Power Rangers as the fan film.
I think it was the same guy.
Yeah.
I think the same guy did it.
You guys are insane.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a great Australian company called Fury Fingers.
Okay.
And I highly recommend you go check out their stuff. They did one for Far Cry 5 recently.
I think I heard about this.
And they have also done a Tomb Raider. It was called Boom Raider, I think. Because they have to change the names to...
Oh, of course, yeah. Legalities.
And they also did, I think they were the guys that did the Pac-Man one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure. But highly recommend to go check them out. They're so good.
Yeah. All right. I'll check it out.
That's it for us today.
Cool. Yep. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks for coming along. There's Luke Towers, the new co-host to the podcast that is Super Nintendo. And make sure you check us out at dokidarko.com.
dokidarko.com